And now I'm going to do is what they call a leading edge. Just taking a bit off that one side. Now I'm going to use a sawhorse. That's got that mouth cut out. And the reason we cut that mouth out is when we put our door in it. Obviously this is an internal door. What I've also got is just a little block with a gap a bit wider than the door. I'll take me up, bring it up off the floor because the floor is a little bit uneven. It just gives me a nice flat surface. Then all I need to do, I can wedge that in there, and my door's nice and solid to now get ready for going in the opening. Okay. I'm going to start off, I'm going to use a smoothing plane. I'm just going to set that up. Just only want, you only want to, obviously you want this to be sharp, and you only want a small amount of blade sticking out. So what I'm going to do is going to put a slight angle. This is the front. I'm going to put a slight angle across to the back. Just makes it easier when we put the hinges on that the door doesn't bind. So when you close it, we don't want it springing back out at us. So I'm just going to take some more off this side. So yeah, I haven't got to put a lot of pressure in this. I don't need to buy expensive power tools. If you're not going to use them a lot, why go to that expense? I'll just do a little bit more. Obviously shavings nice and clean. I've got a bit of a knot there. Bit more. Have a look at that. Use my square. Yeah, I just got a slight angle on there. I may just put it, there's a slight gap on that far side. Yeah, difficult to, only a small gap. I might just do a little bit more up that edge. Got a sharp edge on these. So I'm just going to take my plane and I'm just going to run it along what we call the arris and take a very fine shaving off. I'll just do that a couple of times. Okay, so I'm going to offer that into the opening again. Obviously we're looking at making a gap all the way around the door of around 2 mil. So one thing we could use for something like that is something about the thickness of a 10-pence piece. Something then can place in the top of the door. So that means I've got that gap at the top. And I'm just going to wedge it up to that. Okay, got a nice even gap across the top. I'm just going to check down the side here to see where I go. So I've got a bit of a gap here. So I just want to close that gap up. Okay, you see the gap we've got. We want to lose that. We want it nice and tight like we got here. So we've got a little bit of a... I'm just going to run my pencil up that edge. I'm going to be taking a slight shaving off in just a couple of places. Wedge it, hold it in place. So just take a bit off the bottom here. Okay, now we've got that. I'm going to look at the other side now. Perhaps a little bit out the middle more. So I'm now working on the other side. And this time I'm going to put the angle on the other direction. So it's the door. Just as an example, if you measure from end to end on that, this is exactly the same as the door, but if you then measure from that point to that point, it will be slightly different. So measuring that, I've got 1146 millimeters, and if I go diagonally, I'm a good mil and a half bigger. So that part's going to hit the door, which is why we put that leading edge on. This time, just for a little bit more accuracy going up this side, I'm going to use a jack plane. As you can see, it's just a little bit longer in length. It just means I get a little bit more accuracy up the length of the door for getting it flat. Okay, so I'm putting an angle on that side. Nice. And again, I'm going to take that iris edge off. Yeah, got the leading edge across there. Try it back in the opening. Put my 10p in the top. Obviously, because where I am in here, I'm putting it up onto this frame. You may have to think about carpet. So you may have to take some off the door, so always take it off the bottom of the door if you've got to do anything like that for carpet. What you will find in the bottom, there's only a small amount of timber going across the bottom for the outside frame of the door. If you go to all of that out, you need to replace it, otherwise the door will start breaking down because of the way it's constructed.